All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2000s. I'm here with a special guest this time. Hopefully, I can convince him to be the permanent co-host. But for right now, he is my co-host this week for this episode, Mr. Captain Aaron Nova. What's up, my boy?
What's up, everybody listening? Thank you for taking the time out for listening, first and foremost. Kyle, what's going on, man? We got some history, man. I heard all the things you say about me, man. You've been talking some bull crap, man.
Yeah, man, I hate you. I hate your guts. Yeah. I've always hated you. Always hated your guts.
Yeah, true. Hate you too. The only way to settle it is on this podcast right now.
Right.
we tonight, for one night only, we're gonna put our differences aside in this like Rock Cena Survivor Series.
right.
Once in a lifetime.
Right.
Tag team right now.
You said listening, but I do want to point out to anybody that this is a audio and visual podcast. This is a video as well. So that's the cool thing. So if you're watching, you're probably watching on YouTube or Spotify. Because I didn't know Spotify. Jesse had to tell me that Spotify now has like a video podcast situation, which is cool. So yeah, this is a audio video podcast. Most people that are watching are probably coming from the Back to the 2000s TikTok account where I just post a bunch of random nostalgia things. But I figured we'll do some podcasts and see how it goes. So now I found my partner in crime here, Mr. Aaron Nova, who I hate. But like we're bonded, we're unified by our love for nostalgia. So
yeah, absolutely. It's a bygone era, but it's always good to just go back and just, especially in today's social climate and political climate, it's good to just go back and remind yourselves of the good times and always try to hold on to the good times during these bad times. You know, it's It's tough to be human nowadays, but
100%.
That's why we do these things. And I approached you on it. I said, put me on your show.
Right.
My rate's 500, and I don't and I don't set up.
Right.
But I didn't know it was a video podcast. Otherwise, I would have took my pug calendar down back here. Should have put some cooler some cars.
I mean, you got the cool WWF poster in the back, so that's cool.
Oh yeah. So these are the only two things I have hung up in my room.
Oh wow, nice.
Everything else is just bland and these are the only two things. But eventually, I got a whole bunch of like pictures in frames and stuff like that. I just haven't hung up yet. Eventually, next time I'll come around, I'll probably have a nice setup, a nice official looking setup.
No, for sure. So our topic is going to be about overall just kind of gaming in the 2000s. But Nova, what year were you born?
I was born in 1992.
Okay, and I'm 98. So that's the thing with this is like you're a little bit older than me. So like the timeline, I don't want to say the timeline's different, but it's like there's definitely going to be games that you were playing in a different part of your life that I was playing at the same time. But I was like significantly younger, you know. This is back to the 2000s, but it really is just like nostalgia in general, whether it is something from the 90s. Mainly the 2000s, but also like I was still a kid in like the 2010s, so sometimes I post things from the 2010s as well. So it is just kind of nostalgia in general. So when it comes to gaming in the 2000s, this may kind of encroach a little bit into like the 2010s as well, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I think first and foremost, I just want to say the 2000s, I think, was just the elite level of gaming. People would argue, you know, the 90s were a great time with Sega and Nintendo going head to head, but I think the gaming industry kind of rapidly grew really fast, like ushering into the 2000s, and we have these 3D models, and now we have all these young, hungry developers trying to like create a new concept. You have all these like these alpha consoles and stuff like you got Microsoft, you got Sony, you got Nintendo, you got Sega, you know. I think that with that competition created a lot of great content for the time because everybody was trying to hit those sales, man. I think everybody was trying to win.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I feel like, and maybe again, I was young here, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I definitely feel like there was a lot, but I feel like when the PS2 and the original Xbox dropped, that's when everything really started to shift. In my opinion, from my view, that's when it really became like, okay, gaming is on a different level, and the graphics are improving and things. And now, I mean, we look at it now where the gaming universe is like you either have a PC, which has always been a thing, or the console wars between the PlayStation and Xbox, and then Nintendo. But Nintendo's kind of on its own path. It does its own thing. there's no like competition with that.
Nintendo, I think, definitely kicked the door down. Pretty much, I
Right.
think they're the. I'm gonna use a lot of like wrestling references here, but I think they are, the WWE of gaming because they stuck to their ways, and I don't even know if I would say WWE. I don't even know how I could compare Nintendo because I feel like they are more linear than anything.
Right.
When it comes to game, they stick to their trusted titles.
Right. And they don't fuck around with those titles either. They're very
innovative
close-knit with those titles.
Yeah. Very innovative in the handheld game, which
they're the damn early 2000s TNA of video games. That's what they are.
Yeah,
they be doing their own thing, man.
Yeah, they stuck to their guns, but they weren't afraid to experiment as far as like with their consoles. Like I think the Game Boy, of course, is revolutionary.
Right.
Revolutionary system right there. Handheld gaming.
Right.
I'm not big. I don't know much on the history of gaming as I should. I know I watched a lot of Tech TV. Growing up, there was a show they had Icons where they would talk about certain things like that. But like for my era of gaming, the Game Boy, of course, was like my first console. I would say first console. Really? I had a Game Boy Color. I had a green one, the green Game Boy Color.
Okay.
And of course, Pokemon Red, man.
There you go.
That's the '90s. We're in the 2000s. We're going back to the 2000s.
Sure. But I do want to say because so for viewers, we both have 5 questions that we want to ask each other. But before we do get in that, I do want to ask you like, what consoles did you have? Because like for me, I had like I remember I think the first console I ever had was the PS1, but I was like, it wasn't my console. I think it was my dad's console. But I have fond memories of playing Tomb Raider with him, and I remember I would play right before I had the PS2. I would play like Vice City, and I remember my mom. Yeah. It's still a joke to this day. My mom would be like, "You better be playing that on mute. You have to be playing it on mute." And so like sometimes she'll still like I'll be playing a game and she'll still call out to me and be like, "That better be on mute." And it's like I'm playing The Sims. What are you talking about? Like,
oh my God, Vice City. Why would you want to play Vice City on mute? I think like that soundtrack alone is like so iconic.
Well, I was like 4 years old and my mom didn't want me hearing them say fuck and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's why I had to be playing it on mute.
That's what Vice City did. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I had to be. I couldn't hear them cursing and moaning and da. So I had the PS1, but obviously I had the PS2. I had the original Xbox. I had my Game Boy. The Game Boy I believe I had. I think I had a Game Boy Color, but the one I really remember was the Game Boy Advance. I had that. Mm-hmm. I think that's the one I used most. And then for Christmas one year we ended up getting the Wii. I ended up getting the PS3, the 360, and I had the DS. Not the original DS, but what was the DS that came out after
that? Was it the 3DS?
Yes,
DSi,
that's what I had.
Right or DSi?
No, I had the 3DS, I believe.
3DS, yeah. Because they were again Nintendo's innovation leading into 3D at the time, way ahead of the curve. Was it a hit? I don't know. I mean, I really can't say. For me, I had just about every system starting from Super Nintendo. My first system was a Super Nintendo. Mm. Well, when I say my family entertainment system, but
right.
I had 3 brothers. We all shared, but the earliest console I remember playing was Super Nintendo, and then Genesis. I did have a Game Boy Color. That would be like I would say my first personal. Like, this is mine. 64, Sega Dreamcast. Sega Dreamcast would be my second. Like this is my personal system.
Right.
My brother had a 64. I had the Sega Dreamcast. PlayStation 2. I had a GameCube, Xbox.
I had a GameCube too. I forgot about
360.
That.
I had a 360. Of course, I put miles on the 360. I had a PS3. Didn't really get into PS3. I had like 2 or 3 games on it. I bought it off a friend, and I was just like, oh, okay, I'll try it. But I couldn't get into PS3 because I guess 360 was just the heavyweight champ at the time. Okay. I had a Wii just for Smash Brothers, and then once I beat that, I never played the Wii again. I think I had Pokemon Rumble on there too, but wasn't really a Wii guy. Didn't have a Wii U. Fast forward, PS4, PS5, and then now I'm on the PC wave.
He's a PC guy now. I want the PC too, but it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap.
No, it's not good investment. It's not. It depends on, like, I don't know, man. I thought I was balling, but Monster Hunter, the new Monster Hunter came out, and I couldn't run it on my PC, so I realized I wasn't balling like I thought I was. So I definitely got to get a new one. But that's when all my credit card bills are paid off, I'll get that.
Right. Yeah, I had a GameCube. I completely forgot about that because that was like my sister's, basically. Like, it would be in her room. I had the PS2 in my room, so we would have it like the PS2 would be in my room, the GameCube would be in her room, and then like the 360 and the Wii would be like in the living room. So she mainly played the GameCube, but I would go in her room just to play Day of Reckoning 2, and that was it. Because before I had SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, that was the only game that had Paul London in it, so I had to play that if I wanted to play as Paul London. So I would go in her room to just play Day of Reckoning 2.
Yeah, so like back then, what's interesting with the wrestling games was like each console had its own iteration of wrestling game, which I always found fascinating. Like,
so cool.
It was still that tribalism back in the day, but not like hardcore. Like, oh, your system's like, it was such this. Each console were trying different things, like to have their own exclusive titles and stuff like that, and then you have like these franchises, like a WWE, and you wanted to make like your own version of it for each console. Because I remember PlayStation 2 had SmackDown. Off the first PlayStation was SmackDown was the big series, of course. Here Comes the Pain, one of the greatest wrestling games.
Ooh, just bring it. Shut your mouth. All of them,
brother. All of them. But I think, man, I'm gonna keep sidetracking, but because I just love this time. But like SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, or SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, I would say is the greatest because the roster at the time, like everybody was. I don't want to say peak, but you had a mix of everything. You had the old school, you had the new school, you had the WCW, the WWE guys, the future guys, and
a couple of the ECW guys.
Yeah, the mechanics in there and the selling and the animations were just mind blowing. But SmackDown, PS2, then GameCube had WrestleMania, the WrestleMania series. That evolved into Day of Reckoning, and then Xbox had Raw.
Yeah,
Raw and Raw 2. I remember having the first run, and man, it was.
I had the first one too.
Yeah.
Not great.
Not a good game. No. Compared to the others, absolutely not. But still, like, I mean, Raw 2 tried. You know, it definitely had like improvements by a landslide, but still, like, not would like. I know, like, probably a few years ago, which would probably be like 10 years ago, actually. But like, I know, like. Modders really made it, like, really evolved the game and like kind of like put so much stuff in there. It was actually pretty cool. But yeah, the console days, man. GameCube, it even had the handle, so you could just like take it from
you just take it with you.
It was so compact. Everything was small and just like convenient. That's what I liked about Nintendo. It was their effort to make everything so convenient.
Yeah, they're very good at like travel-esque situations for sure with either just a handheld or like even the Wii was small enough that you could pretty much just unplug that and pick that up and take it compared to the PS5 that's literally like a damn building.
You need movers for that.
Right. You're going to pull your back out if you pick it up the wrong way.
Yeah, a lot of those systems later on got like, but that was because they were like these super powered systems that like fueled all these graphics. And I think once video games got to like, like when it was heavily based, like relied on graphics, it stopped the spectacle of good gameplay. That's why I say like a lot of replay value is just like so down right now because everything is like there's titles that look great, but just who really wants to sit and play it? Right,
you play it once and you're done, for sure. Yeah, definitely compared to being a kid and you play the same story mode on a game 15 different times.
Oh, I do it still to this day, man.
Right. Bro, I've played the damn GTA 5 story mode probably the most out of anything, and I played that like I play it like once a year, full through, because it's just so good. It's so fun.
That's one game I never beat, surprisingly, and I was there for the midnight release for that one for 360.
Man,
yeah, man. Grizzled.
going back to the SmackDown and whatnot. I don't know if it was the same for you, because again, you are a little bit older, but for me, I was too young to like know like a release date and things like that. So when it came to like those games, the current game, like each year, I would get that for Christmas every year. Like that would be a guaranteed gift. Like SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, 2010 would always be like Christmas gift. But any games before that, I didn't know existed. So I would go to anytime I would go to GameStop, I would like see a new title on the shelf and think it's either new or it's one I don't have, and that's how I came to like. I still have, you can't see it, but I still have like all of them. That's how I came into like Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain and Just Bring It, because it wasn't like I was sitting there waiting for it to drop, being like, all right, October 10th, I'm going to get Here Comes the Pain. It wasn't that at all. I would be like, oh, my mom's taking me to GameStop. What is this SmackDown Here Comes the Pain? I'm getting this because it's a wrestling game I don't have. And then I would go home and play it. And then I have like, years and years of playing it. So I always thought that was interesting, of like those games I've played and I grew up playing, but I didn't play them like when they came out. I probably got like Here Comes the Pain, I probably got in like 2006, 2007,
Yeah. Which is fine. I don't think there's ever really a bad time to get like games like that to go back and play. Now, especially now, like
right.
The fluidity of that game is just it still holds up to this day,
Right.
But to your point, I think for me, like finding out what was the new game and stuff like that. That was back when you used to watch TV and they used to have this thing called commercials. Man,
yeah.
Advertise this stuff. They would invest in these commercials. Like for those listening, I some older or younger, from the younger years, newer years coming. Commercials were so big, and they all were out. They would always have, especially wrestling games. Like for instance, they would have like a 30-second ad on the show, like on a Nitro, or
right.
on Raw or SmackDown and stuff like that. The thing with those games was they would have like these cool commercials with, like, let's say SmackDown, I want to say it was SmackDown 2 or 3 with Kurt Angle in the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
I know SmackDown hotel, and he's in this singlet with the denim jeans. So ridiculous, or
I posted one. There's one that I posted on like the social media accounts. It was either 2010 or SmackDown vs. Raw 10 or 11. The one with the John Cena sitting in the kid's kitchen. You know what I'm talking about?
2000. He was sitting in the kid's kitchen.
Yeah. So like this kid walks in the kitchen, and his mom is like, Josh, you got to get ready for school or whatever. And there's a guy reading the newspaper, and he takes the newspaper down. It's John Cena sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, Josh." He's like, "Josh, don't forget, we got that big tag match tonight."
Yes.
And then they're like,
the creative character in the kitchen.
Right. Mom's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And he's like, "Oh, that's Jeff. I made him for a big tag match with Kelly later." Yeah.
I remember.
That
man.
That was a good one.
That one was a good one. I remember. One distinct memory I have with them, and I think I can do a good impression, was the narrator's voice, who he would also do like the SmackDown replay or the commercial replays. Like I'm gonna do a terrible impression.
There we go.
WWF SmackDown. What was it? Know Your Role? I just know the WWF SmackDown Slam of the Week, brought to you by Lugs, or like something like that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He would do that voice for the games. It's like WWF WrestleMania 2000 on the N64. Over 40 playable characters, something of that nature. But I always remember
they were keeping it in house, bro.
In each of those like commercials, it was fantastic. But the commercials were like a big thing. And
then you find out that was just like Earl Hebner.
That would be sick, man. If he did, whoever did those voices should get inducted in the Hall of Fame, man. But those
right.
Those were sick. But if not the commercial will always drop it. If not, if you were balling, you would have the Game Informer magazines.
Yeah.
Me, not so much a baller, despite having those systems. But like for magazine money, no. When you go to your mom to the grocery store or something like that, you run to the aisle and you'll open up the Game Informer magazine. You just kind of look at the pictures.
Read it.
And,
Right.
Oh, here we go. If WWF made the cover or WCW made the cover, it was even better. You would try to purchase that copy.
Right.
but they will always drop the release date and like a little rating at the end of it, which was for the first half. But then like maybe like a couple of years later, digital cable started like becoming a thing, and we had this channel called Tech TV. And Tech TV is very, like, huge, so influential. Like, I felt like, oh, my God. Like, you always had Cartoon Network, kids watch cartoons, but I felt like I was, like, a huge dork, like, or tech dork.
Right.
Like, I loved all the electronics and stuff like that. And, like, they had a channel dedicated. So, on that channel would have the show called X-Play. I don't know if you've seen X-Play before, but there was this dude and this girl. And they used to review video games and promote upcoming video games. Okay. And they would play some footage. They would pretty much video game journalism. You know, I'm gonna use a heavy word now because I'm older, but as a kid, I'm like, man, like if they reviewed these games, like if it was hot or if it was not. They would give it a 5-star,
That's
1
cool.
out of 5-star rating, or 1 to 5-star rating, and stuff like that. They'll review the game and stuff like that, and then. Before that, you would just go to Blockbuster and rent it. But, like, I would hear their review, and then I would go to the video store, rent the video game 3 days, bring it back, and be like, yeah, this is the one I want. I want to play. I want to buy this game.
Right.
That was
back when we used to have to rent things, man.
Oh, yeah. Before GameFly.
Yeah.
Which I never even used GameFly. I used GameFly.
I never used either. No.
Yeah, that was, like, the big, like, towards the tail end of G4.
I would use Blockbuster. And then later, like Redbox, when Redbox started carrying video games, I would use Redbox.
Redbox, yes, Redbox was the other one.
But there was something magical, even though this isn't necessarily about video games. There was definitely something magical about a Friday night going with your family to the Blockbuster to get something.
We had a video store. Like for me, it was a video store, local-owned video store called Star Search. Mm-hmm. It was on in the Bronx. Anybody from the Bronx listening probably would know about it. I don't know. It was just like this little hole in the wall, like video rental store, and they had VHS tapes across the walls. They would have a little section filled with just like wrestling tapes, and we would rent like.
Hell yeah.
Me and my brothers had to agree on one wrestling tape, and we would watch the wrestling tapes. And then they had video games towards the front, man. And then whatever was hot, we would rent it. If not. Or we would go to a Blockbuster. If they didn't have some, we'll go to a Blockbuster and we'll ball out at Blockbuster. Same deal.
Hell yeah.
But by that time, it was just like you could get either one wrestling tape or one video game.
Right.
So it was hardest decision for 3 kids, three young boys
trying to figure
to
it
decide
out.
on some. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
But that was our deal right there.
Yeah, I remember for sure. I mean, I didn't. It wasn't like years and years of doing it, but there was a few years where Blockbuster was still a thing, and like me and my family would go. There was one like 10 minutes from my house, so we would go and get stuff. But then like the Redbox came around, and there was always there's like a 7-Eleven literally down the street from my house that had a Redbox. Yeah. So like I remember I would always just go there. I remember I rented 2K15 WB 2K15 from it because my dad was not buying it, which honestly was probably not that he knew it was bad, but he just wasn't. He didn't want to buy it, so I had to go rent it. Yeah, I had to go rent it and play it for a little bit, and then I waited till my birthday to get it or whatever. But renting stuff was definitely fun. But we have our questions here. So you wanna start diving into our actual questions?
Let's dive in. Ooh, see, we're both rubbing our hands.
Yeah,
we're about to start a fire right now because it's lit.
We're like mosquitoes, man.
This is one thing I really wanted to do. To like really like any listeners out there, newcoming listeners, I really want to ask these questions. Mainly to you to just really think about those games, and if a clip comes out on this, like, please comment, share it, just talk about the things you love. Please do that for me. Like, if there's one thing I want is for everybody to just be grateful for what they have and just speak loudly on the things they love. And video games is a big thing I love here. So I'm going to start off, and how we're going to do this is I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to give my answer first because. I've been on many podcasts, and people ask questions, and then you're on the spot, and you're like, right. So I want to articulate it here. So I'm going to start off with my first question. So I'll ask a question, I'll answer, and then give me your answer, and then you ask me your question. All right. So I got 5 questions down here, and I'm going to start off. So what video game soundtrack you play to this day that comforts you? And this is a really good question because there's so many video games with great soundtracks, that I would just play in my car. Thankfully, some of them will be on iTunes, like right. Sonic Mania soundtrack on iTunes. I'd play that on long car rides. But like one video game that had like this elite level soundtrack that I go back and listen to probably like once a week, just comforts me and puts me in that place in life where I didn't have nothing to worry about. I was just happiest as I can be. But one game that does that is Jet Set Radio Future on
yes, sir.
Xbox.
Hell yeah.
That game, so unique. They're making a part 3, but I'm a little worried about it because I feel like it's gonna deviate from what made the game so special, like the graphics and the graffiti style and all that. But that one main thing on that video game is that they had the soundtrack playing the whole game. Like it was playing as you were skating and tagging up and stuff like that. And that soundtrack always looped, and you could find hidden cassette tapes and you could unlock more music. And it was such a brilliant freaking soundtrack. It was like that Neo Tokyo pop kind of funk mix with what now we would say EDM, like that kind of EDM style, like unique tracks and stuff like that. But it was that audio. I would buy a vinyl and I would hang that up like on my blank wall right here. I would definitely buy a vinyl of Jet Set Radio Future. I think that is one of the most unique soundtracks, and it complemented the game so much and made it to that great video game it was, you know?
Hell yeah.
So Jet Set Radio Future for me.
Can I give you a few? Is that okay?
Oh man, this is your show, brother.
All right.
You tell me.
So I'll give you a few. The first one I instantly thought of my favorite game of all time, Saints Row 2. It just introduced me to so many songs, honestly. So I have such nostalgia to it because Panic at the Disco literally that game helped me discover Panic at the Disco and Paramore, as well as like a lot of classic songs like Everybody Wants to Rule the World and The Final Countdown and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. There is a lot of songs in there.
Always have that station on. Yes.
Yeah. So there are a lot of songs in that I discovered through Saints Row 2. GTA 5 is another one I could say, but that one I'll say because I technically still listen to it because I still from time to time play GTA Online, and so that whole soundtrack in there. So like, but that's another one that like just a bunch of songs that I already knew or discovered through that. And then the last one is like my wild card. I'll say, I don't even know if you know this game, Disney Extreme Skate Adventure. Have you ever played that game?
I seen clips of it. Is that where they had like it was like, was it the Tony Hawk engine or something like that?
It was. I think so. Yeah, I think so. But it would be like you play as.
I never played it.
Yeah, so you can play as like a kid, like you can create yourself, or when you go to like the different worlds, you would play as like if you go to Toy Story, you would play as Woody or Buzz or Zurg, things like that. It's a great game. Me and my sister played it like crazy. The soundtrack, I can't really think of like songs off the top of my head, but that soundtrack is another banger soundtrack. I know Little Romeo has a song in there, so that's one that is great. But it's like there's like a lot of rap in there, a lot of like punk rock songs in there. It's a really really good soundtrack. So that's another one.
I wouldn't, piggybacking off my answer and your answer, like I don't think there was ever a skating game that had a bad soundtrack, because I think Tony Hawk is another goated franchise because of its soundtrack. Its soundtrack complements it so much. Right. Like, oh man, there's so many songs on Tony Hawk. I mean, from like, I want to say 3 and 4 just had like these elite level soundtracks, But skating games with a great soundtrack, well, I don't think there's any skating games with a bad soundtrack, but that's a very good pick.
Another too is like any of the SmackDown vs. Raw games, man. That's another one. Or SmackDown games, like that's. I'll just give you the whole I'll just give you the whole franchise there between SmackDown and then SmackDown vs. Raw, because that's another one. I have a whole playlist that's just like all the songs from every single game.
When I play the newer ones now, I leave the theme songs on. I leave like certain
Firefly.
Oh yeah, Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, man.
Let's Start a Riot.
So good,
Symphony.
Bro. Oh, Bullet with my name on it. There's a lot of good songs throughout all those games.
Money in
bro.
the Bank.
Yeah.
You don't want
yes.
more.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Oh man, those are
So
those are
good.
classics, man.
So
Even
good.
like the earlier games too, like from I don't know. I always like the 64, like, and the 64 games, like the background music, like for certain stages or just the level music.
Right.
I mean the menu music, the dick diggity
Diggity
dog,
dog. Yeah.
or the Pantera one for WrestleMania 2000. Like those are a soundtrack. Man, is very vital to having a great game. You can't have a bad soundtrack
For sure.
or no soundtrack for a game. It's got to complement it.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a good one.
Do you wanna go like back and forth, like you ask one, I ask one, or do you want to do all yours?
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
man.
All right.
I'm having a good time, man. Now you
Yes,
ask
sir.
me something.
All right. So my first question is gonna be,
Yeah.
honestly, it's an easy layup though. It's like every genre of video games. What was as a kid? What was your preferred genre of a video game? For me, it was easy. Open world games. Open world games. That was my thing. Whether it's Saints Row or GTA or Shenmue or later on Sleeping Dogs. All those games, if it's an open world game, I'm playing the shit out of it. So that was definitely my favorite as a kid. And it's probably still my favorite, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So for me, this will be a two-part answer because old me, the now me, older me
Right.
likes a lot of open world sandbox games, like a Minecraft, like 7 Days to Die.
Right.
I like sandbox games like that because, to me, it's relaxing. The recent ones I've been playing are Scheduled One and Pal World. I'm a big Pal World fan because it's like Pokemon and Ark
Right.
mixed together. But I like those games where you have to grind to get certain levels to unlock certain tools and weapons and stuff like that. But I like those because I get to move at my own pace. There's no really like main direction I need to go.
Right.
So old me likes those open world sandbox games, as well as those co-op party games. I like to play with my friends online. We play a lot of Age of Empires as of late, where we just team together and just annihilate. Yesterday we had a great battle and we lost miserably. It's 2-1. Like we've been doing every difficulty to try to improve. But old me, sandbox open world games. Young me, very good question. I would say I was big on adventure games growing up. Adventure games with different characters you can choose from. One big one would be like Sonic Adventure, the first one, or two, both, but mainly the first one because you had options. You could play as Sonic and run to the finish, or you can play as Tails, which it was a race. You could play as Knuckles, where it was a hide and you had to find the emeralds. The fishing mechanics with Big the Cat. Amy, you had different characters that did different things. So I was big on adventure games. Yeah, I would say those two right there. So old me, open world sandbox, because it relaxes me, and young me, I love adventure games with different characters you can choose from. Options. Yeah. I like options.
I feel you. Yeah, I mean, I've always just loved the open world games, and some of the sandbox games I like too. But sometimes I get a little annoyed. Sometimes it gets it can be a little grindy when you have to try and figure it out. It gets
repetitive after a while. Once you get everything you need,
right?
But I think it's just something about those games that it's just very relaxing. Like a Minecraft would be a great example of that and it has a great soundtrack, relaxing melody, and you just there grinding, until the night comes and the skeletons get you.
Right. I've always just loved open world games, just the freedom to, again, whether you're playing GTA, Saints Row, the freedom to just drive wherever you want, steal a car, punch somebody in the face, do something stupid, do some side activity. That's always just appealed to me. GTA 6 is literally my favorite. That's my most hyped game. That's the only game I really even care about at the moment. Is don't care about anything else. Just get me to GTA 6.
I think I'm up and down about it because I think it's just GTA now is just too much. There's too much in the game. For me at least. I like the simpler. I love Vice City. I love San Andreas. But open world game, the first one that comes to mind Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2 was just groundbreaking open world mechanic because I was so used to like you can only zip line one way.
Right.
But this one just it added a whole new element. It was the whole map of Manhattan, and they just it was the whole world. And I lived in New York, so it was just like it was such a great experience. You know, to this day I'll go to New York and I'll visit, and then when I'm downtown Manhattan, I'm just like this. I don't know how anybody can do this without being Spider-Man. Right. Like, who wants to walk and take the bus or the train? Like, I'd rather be Spider-Man right now. He makes it look so convenient. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, that's a definitely very good one. There. So for my next question, and has like I want your most detailed answer because it's questions like this. I really want the listeners to really think, but really feel like think about this one. Here we go. What video game has touched your soul with its overall experience? With that being said, experience being its ambiance, its soundtrack, its game mechanics, its visuals, you know.
Right.
For me, like I would say Kingdom Hearts 2 would have to be like my top 3 games, like top 5, top 3, I don't know, but like overall experience, like the way that game touched my soul, like from the visuals, you had the Disney characters, you had the live action characters, you know, because it was like a culmination of like this Final Fantasy realm of theatrics and villains and stuff like that, and scenery, and then you had like the charm of the Disney characters you just grew up loving as a kid, you know. So Kingdom Hearts 2 was a game that I would talk to people about. Like I used to see a counselor in school, and we would just talk about Kingdom Hearts, and it was just like just the, you know, after getting in trouble and stuff like that. If it's something stupid, you know, we got to sit in the office and talk about Kingdom Hearts, but like just the overall experience, it just like I can go back, like if I'm feeling something emotionally, I can go back to like a Kingdom Hearts quote or something or level, and then it'll help me resonate the feeling I have. Like I can compare the two, like, oh man, if I feel this, there's got to be something in Kingdom Hearts that relates to this, and I would find that.
Right. You know, I never really played the Kingdom Hearts games, to be honest with you. I think I have the first one for the PS2, but I've like barely touched it. Theo has touched it more because he like came over a few times and he played it on his own. So Kingdom, but I do understand, like I see the love for it. I love Disney, so I definitely love the idea of like the Disney characters in there and whatnot, and I understand like people loving it, and the soundtrack definitely is up there for those games and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. From so the commercial off rip, it was like, oh my god, like what is this? Right. Like, you know, it was Final Fantasy, but it had a twist. Final Fantasy with a twist, with licensing. You know. Right.
On my end, I feel like this is gonna be like probably every question you ask me, I'll have this answer for. I can say Saints Row 2, but I won't. I'll so that obviously that's my favorite game of all time. So that just everything to me, everything. So outside of that, I would say honestly, this might be a wild one, but maybe like a Battlefront 2 or something like that. I just remember like really just playing the shit out of that game, man, and like growing up hardcore Star Wars fan, and I grew up like that. Battlefront 2 came out right when Revenge of the Sith came out, which is my favorite movie of all time, but they found a way to get all of the Revenge of the Sith content in there, so you have Anakin and Obi-Wan and Mustafar in there. So that just had a huge impact on like me, maybe not on like an emotional side, but on just like a cultural side, me being a Star Wars fan and going to see the movie and then coming home and playing the movie, you know what I'm saying? So Battlefront 2 might be like one of those games.
Did it make you feel like you were a part of that universe when you played it after watching the movies?
Yes, because I literally could then go and be Anakin Skywalker and beat the shit out of everybody. So that might, it's a wild one, but that's like the one that I could think of off rip, I guess. It might be another kind of weird one, but maybe like Sims 3. That's another one of my favorite games, and like that's a game where, you know, you can just do anything. Like you have, it's especially when you have like expansion packs and stuff, you have endless possibilities. So feeling like I'm in the game when, you know what I'm saying? Like you play something like Sims to escape your world, you know what I'm saying? Even though I was a kid, it's like, no,
going through it, you know?
Right.
Life's tough.
I don't want to
take the edge off.
I don't want to deal with school and homework and girls. I want to just go on my computer and play Sims, and I already got a girl and I already got a family, and I drive my super expensive car, and I live in a mansion, and I have a robot that's my butler, and I'm also like this world renowned actor. You know what I'm saying?
Got it made.
So that might be another one that had a big like impact on me in multiple ways as a kid for sure.
It's a good pick, man. But I don't want you to deviate from Saints Row 2. Tell me why that game has touched your life.
I don't know, man. I think it was just, you know what it is? I think it was me being slick, bro. I think the way is like, so I told you I had to play like Vice City on mute and things like that, right? My mom didn't want me playing those games, right? She didn't want me playing violent games. It got to a part where I didn't want to not play it with the sound on, so it got to the point where my mother just took it away from me. I was not allowed to play Grand Theft Auto at all, right? So
Vice City, damn.
So I think my biggest experience, not to deviate fully, but my biggest experience with a GTA is GTA 5, because that was the first one that I was like fully allowed to play. Like I got that for my birthday. That game came out literally like a day or two before my birthday of 2013. So like the collector's edition, which I still have, that was my birthday gift. That's all I wanted, right? So I wasn't allowed to play GTA growing up. I didn't really play, you know, anything up until 5. And by then I was like 13 myself, right? So I was slick, and I think I remember, this is another perk of having a father that owns a pawn shop, is a lot of my video games came from the pawn shop because he would have them. A lot of my consoles came from the pawn shop because my dad, he's Jewish, man. He's cheap, right? He didn't want to go spend $300 on a PlayStation when somebody would come in with the same PlayStation, and he would give them $100 for it and then just bring it home, right? Yeah. Because that's how pawn shops work. So a lot of my stuff came from the pawn shop. So I remember I was hanging out with a friend, and I called my dad, and I was like, hey, do you have anything like GTA? Because, you know, mom says I can't play GTA. But, like, do you have any games that are like GTA? And he's like, I don't fucking know. I'm trying to make money here, not worry about what you're doing. So I'm like, all right, can you just check before you come home? Can you just check? And so he came home with, I think, the first Saints Row. I think it was, or it was either the first one or the second one. I think it may have been the second one, and then later on I found out that the first one obviously exists. Yeah. So I think it was the second one. He came home with the second one, and that was just it, man. I was finally, like, I couldn't play GTA, but I was finally playing GTA. You know what I'm saying? So, like, since they're so similar, so yeah, it engulfed my childhood since the moment I put the disc into the 360, man. That's all I wanted to play was Saints Row 2.
Funny story to piggyback off that. The first time I got Saints Row, because I remember I played the demo on 360. This was when, like, demos on 360 were elite. But Saints Row had a demo, and they had the open world experience, I think, for like 30 minutes or something. But, like, the city was blocked off.
Right.
But I remember playing it, and I was like, oh, this is just like GTA. It had, like, the gang storyline and stuff like that. And I was like, it's so funny because I got the first Saints Row game from a pawn shop right down the road from me. I walked up to the pawn shop because GameStop, back in the day, wouldn't sell games to teenagers, and like they were like mouth off at us, and we were like, all right, forget it. And we'll go down the road to the pawn shop and we'll buy from there. Either the pawn shop or the electronic shop that used to sell games would always sell it to us. They would always sell it to teenagers, man. Full circle.
Yeah, man. I would have a good experience too because my dad obviously knew all of the other pawnbrokers in the area. Yeah. So like sometimes I would go with him to like visit one of his friends, and that would be a score because I'd be like looking at the games while my dad's talking, and I'd be looking at their games, and they'd be like, "Take as many games as you want, man. Screw it." So like I would be like scamming the other pawn shops around, being like walking out with 10 games, and my dad's like, dude, come on, seriously? And the guy's like, nah, let him take them, dude. I bought like 20 of those games for $3, so let him take them.
Oh my god,
you know what I'm saying? Right. For sure. But yeah, Saints Row 2, man, the soundtrack we already talked about. I love the soundtrack. It's great. I love the ability to customize your gang. That wasn't something that you can like do. Just the vibe, man. The gangs, the rival gangs are so cool. The Somdi, the Ronin, and the Brotherhood were so cool. Yeah. The Brotherhood having the the wrestling moveset, so I instantly used that as my moveset when I like defeated them. Just so good, bro. Everything about it I love. It also is very emotional too. It resonates on an emotional standpoint when you have to like when Carlos dies after getting like dragged through the street by the truck when you gotta kill him. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and when Aisha gets stabbed, like there are very emotional moments in that game for sure.
Yeah. I was like the first two. It kind of fell off the wheels for me on part 3. Like it started off with just gangs, and then it became more corporate, and I got with that. Right. And then part 3 it had Roddy Piper though, so I was like 3 for that. You know? I like 3, but also I was still younger, so I think the immaturity of it still appealed to me. And then by 4, I was like, okay, we're off we lost the plot with aliens and shit like that. Yeah, definitely.
So, all right, my next question for you. This one may be a little hard. You may have to think a little bit. But I wanted to give you like a curveball a little bit. What is a piece of gaming merchandise as a kid that was your absolute favorite? So a toy, a T-shirt, a poster, something stupid. Because also, I think we talked about this in the group chat when GameStop used to actually give you things for pre-ordering, and they'd give you a keychain or a mug, things like that. Yeah. So what is like a piece of gaming merch, whether again a toy, a keychain, a T-shirt that you had as a kid that you absolutely love? For me, this is random. The Michael Jackson Experience, the dancing game for the Wii. We got that, and if you bought it at Walmart, you got a bedazzled glove, and I love that thing. I absolutely love that thing, bro.
I picture you now just in the house like this with the sparkly glove and the light.
Yes, I wish I still had it, man. I wish I still had it.
Oh man, a piece of this is a really good one.
Yep.
Gaming merchandise.
It's a wild thing because we probably all had a bunch of it, but to single out one single thing that you love so much is not easy to do.
Yeah, that's a really good one, man. You got me. That was a good one. I'm trying to think of like, because I was a brokey kid, you know. I was fortunate enough to have the games, you know.
Right.
But a piece of gaming merchandise I would go to is probably middle school. This is when like I started like when I discovered eBay, and I was a reckless eBay shopper on my parents' dime. And I would just buy the most ridiculous things. But one thing I did buy on eBay was a Kingdom Hearts Keyblade chain.
There you go.
I wore that until it broke. But that's the one I remember significantly, and people would always compliment me. It's like, oh man, that's such a cute key, you know, not knowing, because Kingdom Hearts 2 was just like, it was engraved in my soul. So like getting to rock that, I would say that's probably my favorite piece of gaming merch growing up.
Hell yeah.
Was that Kingdom Hearts Keyblade steel chain.
Hell yeah.
A little small pendant thing, and then it ended up breaking in half somehow.
Of course.
But I'll never forget that because it was that eBay stint I went on as a kid.
Yeah, I'm like thinking of different things. So I still have my collector's edition of GTA 5, and that I still have it complete. I'm pretty sure that came with like a bunch of stuff, but I have it's so stupid, but it's so cool. It's like a heist like money bag with like the GTA 5 logo like embossed into it, which is really cool. Yeah. I had the damn stupid as because I had the Saints Row 4 collector's edition. I had the stupid dubstep gun, like the replica. I think Mikey also has it that he told us about. So yeah, just like random shit. Even like, do you remember that game Walking Dead Survival Instinct? You probably don't. It was like very random. Okay, so I was a big Walking Dead fan, huge Walking Dead fan. Same. And I remember I pre-ordered that game, and it's so stupid. They gave me, I may still have it. They gave me on the back, it was a keychain. On the back it said Walking Dead Survival Instinct, but it was an ear. It was supposed to be like an ear because I think it's like Daryl in the show walked around with like a chain full of ears or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a keychain of an ear, and then on the back it said like The Walking Dead on AMC Thursdays at 10 o'clock or something like that. Gotta promote that shit.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I wasn't really big on it because I'm not really a big collector. Like now, like as I told you recently, I just now started because I would get things for myself and just put it in a box. I would just store it in like I'm gonna show you right now. See, I got like 2 storage bins right here, just full of shit that I just collected over the years, I was always like, I don't know, I don't want to say like afraid, like somebody was gonna. I always had like a bunch of reckless nieces and nephews that would just come and they would just bloodthirsty.
Right.
They would just come smash my shit. So I was always hiding my stuff, thinking like, I don't know, I just didn't want it to break and stuff like that. Growing up at least. But now like I started putting collectibles up and stuff like that. So now I've been looking at like pieces of game memorabilia and stuff like that. I think I showed you the coasters of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 characters with the original illustrations and stuff like that. We were
so
talking
cool.
About it.
So cool.
But now I'm into that mode of collecting. So that was a very good question.
There's one more too that I want to add before we can move on.
Yeah.
There was a few years where WWE, when they would release their game every year, they did like it would either be a pre-order or they would just sell it with the game. Of like they would do a like Jack specific figures that were like central to the game. So they did the one I had that I'm talking about was they had a Rey Mysterio. It was a normal Jack specific Rey Mysterio, but he had a white T-shirt that says SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 on it. And so that's another one that I used the shit out of that. I loved it so much. They did, I think, the next year they did it was a 2-pack. It was like DX, and they both had like SVR 2009 T-shirts because they were on the cover and shit like that.
Yeah, they were on the cover. Yeah, and then after that, every other year would be the Dead Man edition.
Right.
That's all they would do. It would just be the Dead Man edition. Jesus.
Yeah, that was like one of the ones I want to throw in there because I remember using that Rey Mysterio figure a lot as a kid and just loving that it had the SmackDown vs. Raw 08 logo T-shirt on.
Yeah, something different, something to stand out. All right, my next question. Okay. If you could spend a day in a video game to enjoy the level scenery, what would it be?
Oh, man.
I asked that because I always think back to like if I had the power to jump in any video game, like on some Freakazoid, Fairly Odd Parents type,
right,
type jump in the game, Tron,
Yeah.
I would always go to, and it's a wild pick because the movie's good. I'm just not a big fan of the movie, but Kingdom Hearts 2, as we know, had different levels, hyper detailed levels of these movies, these cartoon movies. Like you can be into this cartoon movie. But the one that always sticks out to me was Halloween Town. Halloween Town had this, just the beautiful level, and I guess because it was like I would play during the wintertime and stuff like that.
Right.
Just this beautiful scenery, and I was just like, man, if I could jump into the game, I would definitely jump into Halloween Town, and just chill on the mountain because you have to fight on the mountain with a little curved mountaintop there. You could fight there, but it always had the view like behind that of the moon, just like in the movie.
Right.
So Kingdom Hearts 2 Halloween Town would definitely be my pick. But for you, what would be a game you can jump in and enjoy the scenery?
Is it we're only going off of scenery, or is it like a universe that I would want to just be a part of?
Let's go small. Let's go with just a part of a game you would jump in just to enjoy the level.
Probably Saints Row 2. No,
I was about to say what? It's just go outside, go downtown.
No, honestly though, probably just to, even if I was a part of the universe, but also just to enjoy the scenery, probably like Pokemon. I've always thought like it's like just so cool and has like just like a really fun vibe to it, a very cute vibe to it. So
yeah,
probably. I was trying to think of like another one, but that was the first one that came to my mind. Like just being around.
Could you think of a level like you played growing up?
Oh shit!
Like where like man, this level looks beautiful. Because
I'm trying to think.
For me, it'd be Kingdom Hearts or like Emerald Coast and Sonic Adventure. Like which I later found out like was like it was inspired by an actual hotel in Panama City.
Right.
Called Emerald something. It was Emerald Hotel or something like that. But like
that's cool.
That beachside with like the water animation at the time, like a lot of games had like the same water beach visuals and stuff like that. It was so cool. So I would either go back to that, but Halloween Town was definitely my like, man, I want to go in here and just chill.
This may sound weird, but if we're just talking about like scenery, maybe it's so random. Maybe Wii Sports Resort. Because like you're literally just in a resort and like I don't think they ever say it's just like its own thing, but it's clearly like Hawaii. Like it definitely is like a Hawaiian vibe. Yeah. So it's like just going there and being at a resort in Hawaii. It sounds pretty cool. So that might be one that I could think of because I think of like the me and Theo's sister and my sister. We used to play that so much, and I was like the undisputed king of like what was it like jousting or whatever, like when you would fight with the sticks on the platform, and I just remember seeing the water behind and stuff, and it just looked so beautiful.
Yeah, Wii Sports was definitely that was soundtrack too. Such a relaxing soundtrack, man. I used to love Wii Bowling and Wii Boxing.
Yep.
Those were really good ones.
They were great. Wii Baseball, like the baseball one was fire too.
Wii was dope.
Yeah,
Wii was dope.
It was.
They had really good. Wii Sports was a gem.
Yep. All right. My next question that I'm going to ask you. This happens to everybody. This is par for the course if you're a video game person, especially as a kid. This happens to everybody. So Nova, what is the worst rage quit moment you've ever had as a kid playing a video game? Mine, off rip. Again, I could probably come up with a few, but the one off rip that really fucking pissed me off was Skate 3. Loved Skate 3, played the shit out of it. I beat the entire game, which was not something that young Kyle would do with a lot of games. Beat the entire game, except one Hall of Meat challenge. It was like the grand finale where you have to like get like 1,000,000 score and you have to hit like every single obstacle. And like there was like one trash can that I could just not fall into or whatever. To the point where I legitimately got so mad I threw my controller and it hit the wall and it went down the stairs and like boom, 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 all the way down the stairs. And it was like shattered. So that's the number one for sure. I was fucking pissed, bro. Pissed.
So, one fact about me, which I tell you one of the stories. There's so many stories of me being a Neanderthal.
Right.
You know, I had a bit of a temper as a kid. Popular belief. I wasn't this wholesome teddy bear I am now, but I had a mean streak going up, and I used to get angry again. There's so many moments. So many ass whoopings. Excuse me, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse or not.
No, you're good.
So many butt whoopings on these games because of these tantrums I would throw and like.
Yeah.
But one in particular that'll always stand out to me because it was such a funny bonding moment. But like Game Boy Advance SP. All right. I love the SP. I even got like a little handheld SP like portable emulator. Like I love the SP. I think it was the most convenient thing ever. Just the flip. Anyway, Game Boy Advance SP. Metroid Zero Mission. All right, I'm a huge Metroid guy. I love Metroid. Great franchise. So much. Such a time-consuming game. I loved it. Anyway, there was one boss where it was like this giant worm coming out of the lava, out of this. You can't jump in. You can't run past it, and you can't jump in the lava. You know. And you were just on the side on this stand right here, so I couldn't figure it out. I would just go in, it'd beat the crap out of me. I would try different things. I would jump in the lava, try to run past it. Could not get it. You know, I even restarted the game from scratch to see if there was something I missed.
Right.
And I ended up getting back to that same point. I got so mad that I took the SP and bent it backwards. I was so mad.
Yeah.
Cracked it in half. And I was like, because you know, as a kid, when you go through these blind rages, you instantly come back in a second, like, oh my god, what did I just do, dude? Like, I'm gonna get killed now. Like my parents are gonna kill me. I'm never gonna get a system again.
Right.
Broke it in half. And then waited like a month or two. I got whooped for it, rightfully so. Blind rage. It cost money, which was like $100 at the time. You know, my birthday came up. My dad had got me another SP, and I went right back to that game, Zero Mission. Started from scratch. Went right to it. got to the same part, and I got so mad again. And at the moment of that blind rage, I was about to do it again, and my dad caught me right there, right in time, right in the nick of time.
Right.
Snatches the SP from me, and he goes, "Is this what you're crying about?" Plays it, beats it on the first try, hands it back, and he's like, "Here, dummy." All you had to do was jump and zip line across.
That's awesome.
And I was just there, like, I was staring at it on the floor, like, I'm the biggest idiot in the world. How did I not think of that? You know,
man.
But yeah, he swooped in, he stopped me from breaking another.
He saved the day, man.
And beat it just like that in my face, and made me feel like I was the smallest person on earth, the dumbest man on earth who couldn't beat this level.
There was a time in GTA Online they put in like their doomsday heist. You have to literally like save the fucking world and shit, right? And me and Theo, obviously Theo was he's always been my GTA partner in crime. Always, we did everything together. We got on, we did the whole setup, we did everything. We got to the heist. We could not beat that heist. We kept dying. We did it like 50 times. Kept dying. We were like, fuck this game. We both rage quitted. We didn't touch GTA Online for like 6 months, and then there was like a new update coming, so we got on to like earn some money, and I was like, You wanna try it again? And he was like, I remember his reaction. It was just, fuck it, let's just try it again. And then we went in, and the first time, literally, and the first time we go in there, we beat it with no problem. It's so ridiculous, bro. So ridiculous.
It's so funny, like with situations like that. And I like rage quitting. I get it. I get rage quitters. But to those with like the big temper problems like me, because I had to humble myself. Like this is back when like I was making my own money. Like, you know,
right.
These are very expensive, and as kids, you don't understand the value of $1 and how hard your parents had to work for some of this stuff.
Right.
You know, so my last rage quit moment was on Dead Rising 2, where I was about to beat this boss, and the timer ran out. And the whole game, like all the scenarios, were just like, done, you lost. And I was right there about to kill him. I was so mad that I fucking just squeezed this joystick and smashed it in the palm of my hands.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh no. I bought this controller. Like I can't afford to buy a new one.
Right. And you got no parents to lean on with that.
Exactly. I learned how to repair controllers because of that very moment. That was the last time I rage quit it. Not saying that's like, great. I wouldn't say rage quit, because I still would like rage quit. Like, all right, forget this. Let me just get out of here. But like the last time I smashed a controller, I smashed multiple controllers and video game discs, like just in the palm of my hand, just out of anger. But like because of that moment, I was just like, I learned how to fix them. I learned how to mod them. I know how to change the shells on them. And
I think that's why the Skate 3 one pops out to me so much, because I really wasn't like that as a kid. I didn't rage like that, but I was just so fed up with that one thing, and I just remember throwing it, and it went flying down the stairs. It shattered. My mom was yelling, like, my mom thought I fell down the stairs or something, you know? Yeah. So that's why that stands out, because I really was not like that as a kid.
I was bad, man. I was, I don't know how my parents dealt with me. He just grabbed it and just like, boom, 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 here you go. This is what you was crying about?
Right.
And I was just, oh my God.
Ridiculous.
Let me, we're doing pretty good.
We're 4.
All right, so
we're 4.
Number 4 for me. With replay value at an all-time low in modern gaming, what is one game you can pick up a controller to right now and immerse yourself in it for a while, for a lengthy period of time?
Okay.
So for me, like 2 games, this would be a tie. But since we're in 2000s, I would do the 2000s version. But one game I would always go back and play is Dark Cloud for the PlayStation 2, which was a sandbox dungeon crawler. I used to have it as a kid, didn't beat it as a kid. But as I got older, I went back and it became like one of my favorite games. But I would just pick it up and I would just go through the dungeons and then try to like combine, like master these swords and try to unlock all these weapons, and I would just get so hooked on it.
Right.
My other answer to that would have been Sonic Adventure, but that's a 1999 game. Same with Pokemon Red, which is 1996.
Hey, bro, it's childhood, bro. Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
It's but those games like Pokemon Red, I would go back and play. Sonic, I would go back and play like every 4 months, just cause like it's just such a part of me. But like Dark Cloud is one like the last time I played it, like a couple months ago, was on my PS2 emulator, and it shows like I clocked like 100 hours on that, and I'm like, damn,
bro,
that's what I'm talking about. That's fun.
Right.
That's fun. That felt so accomplished beating that again. Like, man, this time, because I go back to those games like, well, let me try it a different way. Let me go about it this way. Let me try with this weapon and stuff like that. But that's always a fun one. What about you?
Again, I could obviously give you Saints Row 2. That one I just immerse myself in all the time. But outside of that, maybe like Lego Star Wars. I thoroughly enjoy playing that. I could still pick that up and play it. There is like the new one, the Skywalker Saga or whatever, which is great. So I could play that one, but I could play. I would say probably like the complete saga because I like both of them, but specifically the first one that was just like the prequels, because again the prequels were coming out. I think it's same thing with Battlefront 2. I think the first Lego Star Wars came out like the month that Revenge of the Sith was coming out. So it's like, that's another one I can just go play. I have so many fond memories of playing that with my sister, playing that with Theo, or just playing by myself, just playing that game constantly. That's another one. And it is, even though it's a Lego game, you do get immersed into it because it's, it's Star Wars. So if it's something you already love, it's not hard to like fall into it when you're playing one of those games.
Yeah. Good pick. Those Lego games, like, man, like Lego Star Wars, Lego Batman, Lego Marvel, like Lego Harry Potter. Like it's so quirky, but like it has such a fun element to it.
Right.
They
do such a great job with those games.
Yeah. The last one I played was probably like Lego Undercover City. I think I just got it from my nephew just because it was like an open world like GTA. Like I wasn't gonna let him play GTA, but like we got him that so he can free roam and just use his imagination and stuff like that. But those Lego games, I'm thinking about my other nephew. I might introduce him to that because he's getting into Legos now.
Yeah.
So maybe that might be a good direction starting with Lego Star Wars games. That's a very good pick. Very good pick.
Yeah. Lego Batman too. Yeah, that me and my sister played the first one and the second one a lot. The Lego Batman games. Those were also great.
Yeah. Good pick.
All right. My fourth question here is going to be, we're big gamers. We both played, but for every kid, there's always the one game that got away, right? There's always one game that you never got. You wanted, and somehow it just never ended up in your hand. So that's the question. It's what is one video game you wanted as a kid that you just never, your parents never bought it for you, or you never bought it by yourself? What's that one game that you always wanted? I think mine.
That's a tough one.
Right, I gotta kind of think about mine a little bit too, but I think maybe this might sound a little stupid, but in a way like Sims 2, but for the PC. I had like Sims 2 on the console and stuff like that, but I always wanted the Sims 2 on the PC with all the expansion packs. So I had Sims 3. I still have like every expansion pack for the Sims 3, but Sims 2 had like different ones. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted that on the PC with the expansion packs. But by the time I was playing like Sims 3 and stuff, Sims 2 like they weren't selling them in stores anymore, and I'm not sure if they were even online. So like the only way to get those expansion packs was probably like get it on eBay or Pawn Shop or something like that. So that might be the one. Is like I played Sims 2, but like the complete kind of version of Sims 2 I've always wanted to play.
That's a very good question, and I'll probably have two answers. One exact game that I feel like I missed the boat on. I played a few of them, but there was one particular time. Mega Man Battle Network for the Game Boy Advance had this thing where you had to like swipe cards and stuff like that. I think it was to get like different like perks and stuff like that. Right. That one in particular, because they came out like 7 within like 3 years.
Right.
I always borrowed it from a friend, but that was one game like I wish I would have gotten into a little older when the hype was real. Like now, if I was to come back with that Game Boy Advance and collecting cards and transferring the data into the game and stuff like that, I really wish I would have got into that because that seems like a fun a fun thing to do, you know,
Right.
like kind of like the Pokemon trading at the time, like with the Firewire cables, the link cables you had to plug in. But yeah, you had to buy like a card reader, a card scanner, and you would scan the card, and you would get like, you know, different perks and stuff like that. So that I feel like I missed the boat in that era. I've only played it by borrowing it. I didn't have all the bells and whistles like I would want to, but that's one I feel like I missed. Another one would be City of Heroes. Was a PC MMO game that I chased for so long. It came out like 2004, but I remember buying it, but my PC wasn't strong enough, which later find out same thing with Monster Hunter. Like I had like a Windows XP like gateway, like Windows 2000, whatever it is.
Right.
But my PC wasn't strong enough to play it, and I was just like, damn. And then I would try back every other couple of years. Still didn't have a strong enough PC. And then finally in 2010, City of Heroes had its free version drop. And it worked on my MacBook. So I got to play it on Mac for a couple of months. And then the server shut down. And I was like, for years I chased this game. And then when I finally got it and I was finally enjoying it, the server shut down. Oh, it was miserable.
I have something similar.
Yeah.
Something similar to me is like, it wasn't something that I wanted as a kid. I didn't know it existed as a kid. It's me now looking back being like, damn it, I wish I would have knew that existed because I would play it, is Star Wars Galaxies, where you could just like, I don't know if you know what that is. I'm sure you probably do. But it was like, it was like an MMO. Like you would go in and you could just do whatever you wanted. Like you could be a bartender at a bar on Tatooine, or you could be a Jedi. Like you could do anything. You would just live in the Star Wars universe. You could have your own ship, your own house. So that's something I just never knew existed as a kid. And so looking back, I'm like, I wish I knew that existed because I would have played the shit out of that as a kid.
Yeah, I always, man, MMOs are very, now I can't play an MMO for nothing. Now it doesn't hook me. It's too much talking. It's not like before. Like from what I remember, that brief period of City of Heroes when I played, it was just like, it was everything I wanted it to be. Like the customization was so detailed. You can change the color of the energy blast you threw. It was that level of detail, you know. A little bit of talking, but there was a lot of action in there that would just pop up. So I feel like, again, like after that, like I never got into MMOs after that. Like I remember the Star Wars game because XPlay did a review on it. I was like in the early 2000s, and I thought that was dope. But yeah, that one, Mega Man, I definitely missed the boat on that, like with the data cards and stuff.
Right.
That was, wish I had money then, man. Especially like now, like if just, I like those games where like it just encourages you to be social and like engage, like, you know, if kids in the neighborhood had these cards, you know, I thought that was a cool concept. And then just Game Boy Advance, just once it went to DS, like it was gone.
Right. Another one too, before we move on, that is similar to the Galaxy thing of not something as a kid that I wanted I never got, is something now that I wish I played back then, is like the Metal Gear Solid games. I've never played any of them, and I'm at the point now where it's like I could play them now, but they keep remastering them, and I'd rather play like the current version than go back and play like the old version that I have no connection to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But all the remasters are like $60 a piece, so I'm like, I gotta wait until they all come out, and then they're all on sale in a bundle for like $30 or something like that.
Emulators, bro. Get them emulators and just,
I guess, yeah.
Do a PS2 emulator and do a remaster.
Well, no, because you can, right? I mean, you can do like, because they have like the classic versions, but I'm like, I have this weird thing with retro gaming. If I didn't have a connection to it, I don't care. I'd rather play like a newer game. So that's why I'm like, I'd rather play the newer versions that are like made for the PS5 and look like a current game, but they're all like $60, $70. So I gotta wait.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me see.
Oh, my last one. I think it's my last one here. What is the oh no, it's not. My bad. It's you. I'm sorry.
Oh, if you want to go, man, go ahead.
Okay,
I'll finish off strong.
All right, fuck it.
We're running out.
It's an easy question too. What is the first game that you ever beat? Like just fully, the first game that you can think of where you're like, yeah, I'm not saying 100% it because like I don't know if I've ever even 100% of the game, but like a story game or something like that you know, like I was like 6 years old, and it's the first game that I like played from start to finish. Mine, I have to think about it a little bit because I'm like, I can't tell exactly what it is. Maybe it's like Saints Row 2 because I know I played so much of that, but I feel like there's definitely a game before that I beat. I just can't think of it. Maybe like Lego Star Wars or something like that because those are pretty easy to go through. So I don't know for sure, but it's definitely something like Lego Star Wars or something like that. That's my first.
Now, if I'm talking 2000s games, like the first game I beat in the 2000s that I remember, honestly, was definitely that I remember Max Payne. Max Payne for the PlayStation 2, I remember beating that, and I thought that was just like a freaking cinematic masterpiece. Like, I love the detail and depth to that game. But that was the first one I beat, and I was just like, man, like that one took me for a ride. Kingdom Hearts would be another one, but I remember distinctly beating Max Payne, and that being like a big deal for me. Like, oh, I actually, I beat this game like by myself and just really just focused on enjoying the story and stuff like that. Kingdom Hearts, of course, beat that one, but I was just more like lost in the scenery and everything. But before that, like the first game I ever beat was definitely Pokemon Red. Beating the Elite Four. For being like like a 6-year-old, beating that, I think that was just like a milestone because I would always start off with Charmander, and I was big fire type, which was great attack power. But mind you, I'm 6 years old, man. I don't know. So beating it at 6, it was tough because I had to get past Brock. Brock was the gym leader, rock type, and I always pick a fire type, and I would do no damage to this man. I would not touch him, and he would spank me with his Onyx the entire game.
Pause.
But yeah, he would do it to us, man. And 6 years old, I remember crying because I couldn't get past them or whatever until I like watched the show and then like, okay, what about Butterfree? Like I unlocked I caught Butterfree or caught a Caterpie who had Tackle that eventually had like evolved into Butterfree, and then I beat him with Poison Powder, and that was like a huge milestone. But I beat Pokemon Red first. That was the first game I beat. Beating the Elite Four with my Charizard, and but for the 2000s, it was Max Payne. That was the major one I remember beating because I thought I was like, this needs to be a movie, which ended up being a movie with Mark Wahlberg in it, but it was not not as close to the game as more Sin City feel to it.
Right.
But yeah, Max Payne was one I loved.
Oh, I'll give you one that I didn't beat. This almost this goes along with the rage quit kind of moment here. Me and my sister, we got Lego Rock Band for the Wii, right? Okay. And we normally, because we had other Rock Band stuff, and we would just do like the exhibition, like just a normal game. We never played the story. For some reason, Lego Rock Band, I was like, hey Chris, let's play the story. Let's lock in and play the story. We literally got to like the second to last arena. Like we were in like Madison Square Garden, and then the last arena was like Wembley Stadium or something like that. We were in Madison Square Garden. We had played all day, and we were like, okay, we have to like turn it off to go eat dinner, and then we'll come right back, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna beat this thing. We didn't save.
Oh my god! Oh.
We forgot to save. There was no auto save, and we forgot to save. So when we turned it on after dinner, there was no save file for the story mode, and we rage quitted. We were like, nope, nope, and then we went. Anytime we would play it again, we would just do the normal, like, just playing songs. We didn't touch it. We were like, nope, not doing it. Yeah, it's shit. Oh, so close, bro. We were so close.
Of not saving, but I also know the feeling of saving it and having the file saved over. Like, I remember on PS2, I was Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. And I was grinding in that game. Loved the game, loved the atmosphere. It was a very cool theme. Unique, like, kind of puzzle game. Like platform puzzle game kind of deal. Like it was a lot of problem solving. Loved the game. I got so far in that game, and then my little brother started a new game and saved over mines. And I remember going back to play like Jaw dropped. Didn't go back to that game to probably like whenever I got this PC, probably like 2019 when I got this PC, and then it was on Steam, and I got it, and I played a little again, and I never beat it though. So I might make that my mission to beat it before the year ends.
There you go.
So I can finish my story, you know, Cody.
Hell yeah.
Cody Rhodes and finish my story. You know,
hell yeah.
That was really like heartbreaking.
All right. Last question. Let's do it. I hope it's a good one.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be a very, very unique one, and we're probably going to have the same answer, which is going to be cool. But what franchise or singular title you wish got the video game adaptation it rightfully deserved?
Rightfully
that there's franchises that had video games, but they were so garbage. Like, they just had they had the license, and they just put out crap, you know. So just what would be your answer before I give mine? I just want to see if our answer is going to be the same.
I'm trying to think. So you're talking about like a movie that they made into a video game that was horrible?
It could be a movie. It could be a show. It could be a comic book. It could be.
Well, that is a good question because I'm blanking. I'm like trying to think.
So for
me,
you're
like, yeah, we have the same answer. I'm like, brother, I have no clue.
Once you hear my answer, you get Once you hear my answer, you get, and I'm gonna tell you, Power Rangers to me never got the video game it rightfully deserved. And don't get me wrong, like the 16-bit video games are fantastic. Power Rangers the movies and the first Power Rangers title game were pretty good for that era. But Power Rangers is a title that never got with the times as far as evolving with the video game culture. So I felt like there has not been a very good Power Rangers video game ever. Like, you know, like I said, the 16-bit ones were good for the time because side-scroller beat 'em up. You can't go wrong with that. The morphing sequences were pretty cool. And then some might say Battle for the Grid, the fighting games later on would be good, but I feel like you know, they're good as solely as they keep putting in like different ranges. Like 2D fighting games are cool, but like we never got that action adventure Power Rangers game on console. Like the ones like there's some good ones in Japan. Like who knows if they would have came over this side, like how over they would have gone. But I feel like people with the license to Power Rangers never gave us that Power Rangers video game we rightfully deserve. Maybe we came close with that canceled open world RPG. Like who would have? What could have happened with that one? You know, but that's one franchise. I'm just like, oh man, I just wish we had a really good game.
No, 100%. I'll agree with that because we need like a really good AAA like story driven Power Rangers game that we've never gotten. I think my biggest connection to any Power Rangers game was probably I had Time Force on my the Game Boy.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance Time Force game. That's probably like my biggest connection to like a Power Rangers game. Yeah. Other than that, I played a few. The Dino Thunder game was trash because you're just in the Zords the whole time. There is no Power Rangers. And I'm like, this is the worst. So yeah, Time Force is probably like my only real like connector to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Power Rangers, somebody's listening. Develop it, you know. And I'm not talking like Readers Rewind and all that. Don't get me wrong, but it's the same Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game as the one from 1993. You know, it's the same thing. Like, or 1994. We want that 3D console Power Rangers game. You know.
Yeah.
Where you can be like the character and then morph into the Ranger and then have a Zord sequence, a little bit of all of that, you know. I feel like that they left money on the table with that one.
I'm trying to think too. Like I'm looking around the room to see if I can get anything that'll like spark my mind of a franchise that I also think, but I can't think of it. I think Power Rangers would be my number one that I think needs something because I feel like every franchise I love, like Dragon Ball has incredible games that we grew up playing. Star Wars has great games. Marvel has great games. The Batman Arkham games are great. WWE has had incredible games. So I'm like, the only thing I can think of something I really love that hasn't gotten it is Power Rangers. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of.
That's the one. Like I just feel like, man, there was money on the table with this concept here, and they left it, man. Marvel for a while didn't have really. I mean,
when I say Marvel has great games, I will say the Spider-Man games.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man's got Spider-Man 2. I think is one of the greatest games of all time.
Right.
The Spider-Man Insomniac for the PlayStation 4 was or 5 or whatever it is. Fantastic game.
Yeah.
I think it took a lot of essence from that Spider-Man 2, the movie game. You know, but there were like movie games that like I don't know. Thor had a game and it wasn't good. Captain America had a game and it wasn't good.
Right.
Iron Man, surprisingly, was a good game. I had that on 360. Iron Man had a unique game where you get to fly around as him and like destroy like those bases where it had his weapons and stuff like that. That was like a cool like fighting / jet flying game almost.
Oh, you know what? You know what Marvel game I have the most experience with or most connection with is Ultimate Alliance. I played a lot of Marvel Ultimate Alliance as a kid.
Oh, yes, 360.
Because it was just so cool, like being a kid and being able to pick between like 50 different characters, bro.
Yeah.
So cool. Cool.
That one introduced a lot of people, especially me, to a lot of different characters.
That's the first time I saw Moon Knight.
Yeah. First time I saw Deadpool, you know?
Yeah.
Or knew his name because I knew he was in the X-Men cartoon. I didn't read comics much growing up. Like I said, I was a brokey. I was using my money for games.
Right.
But yeah, Deadpool. I remember hearing his like solo mission, and I thought it was the funniest thing. And then he fell in love with that character. But it gave me the chance to play as like my favorites, like Mr. Fantastic. I'm a huge Mr. Fantastic guy. Gambit, you know, which was pretty much not like a direct sequel, but it was like the X-Men Legends games. If you played those were really fun games on the PlayStation 2. But it spun from that, and I thought, like, okay, you got the X-Men, now let's just have the whole freaking Marvel universe in this game. And it was crazy because they didn't even have like Hulk. They didn't. I think they were DLC later. Hulk and like Cyclops and I think that was about it. But like, it had a plethora of other characters where it's just like, oh, you know, I never thought about playing as him, or it gave you options, and I always liked that.
My team
as a kid.
My team, because you could have 4 people on a team. It was 4 or 5? It was 4. It was always like Spider-Man, Human Torch, Wolverine, and like the fourth one would like switch between somebody random. Yeah. But that was like always my team.
I liked all the characters. I mean, all the costumes for each character. I played as each of them.
That's fire.
But my favorite was it was Deadpool, Gambit, Spider-Man, and Mr. Fantastic.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Mr. Fantastic was my guy because he was so weird. But yeah, very good game.
All right, I think we're done. I think we
hit it.
Reached the end of our episode. We are almost at an hour and 32, so we definitely locked in and gave great timing. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You know. So.
Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. You were doing the send off. I got excited, man. I was like, man, we're done. Only an hour and 30, brother.
It's all right because I think we're gonna find a way to make you my permanent co-host because I only do these Back to the 2000s like once a month, so it's not like a consistent thing. So if we can get you once a month to come in and talk about Power Rangers or movies in general and things of when we grew up, I think that would be great. So definitely need to do that. But yeah, check out Mr. Aaron Nova at Aaron Nova Pro. He just had to remake all of his social media accounts.
Brother, I'm back on, man. I'm on this media tour talking video games and everything.
There you go.
Aaron Nova Pro.
There you go.
Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm just Aaron Nova. I'm just figuring TikTok out. I don't know.
I think I gotta help you a little bit.
I don't know how it works, but I'm trying the TikTok.
But yeah, you can find me at OTS Bridger on everything. If you like what we did here and you want more nostalgic content, follow Back to the 2000s on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I post, we post about the podcast, stuff like that, but mainly what I post on there is nostalgia clips, commercials, clips from shows, things like that, video game moments, things like that, things that I grew up with. So if you want more nostalgic content, definitely follow us so you can see some cool stuff. I have a bunch of stuff. I just went and scheduled all of this stuff. The whole month of October, it's all Halloween-themed stuff, Halloween commercials. I have a few WWE commercials that I sent you. I have a Power Rangers Halloween safety video that's going to go up as well. So some really cool stuff. So check that out for sure.
Oh yeah, Halloween, a great month too. But remember the 13 days of Halloween?
Hell yeah.
ABC Family, Fox Family.
Yeah,
but anyway, let that be for the next episode.
We'll dive into some stuff. Halloween stuff, Christmas stuff for sure.
Thank you for having me again, everybody listening. I'm grateful that you took the time to listen to this. Please follow. Don't just follow, interact, comment.
Please, yes.
Share. It helps us. Not like we're getting paid or anything, but we just want to, spread the message that it's just okay to talk about the things we love, and we hope that you listen to this and you open up and you let us know the things you love, and agree or disagree, and we have a conversation about it, because there's so much growing up, man, and we don't want to let this go.
Yeah, for sure. And that's my overall goal with everything, whether it's Back to the 2000s, Cousins of the Cosmos, OTS Project, just my stuff, like my YouTube channel. Everything I'm doing, I just want to build a community, man. I just want to talk about with everybody the things I love, whether it's stuff as a kid, current stuff. I just want to build a community of cool people that all come together to hang out and talk and whatnot. So that's what I want to do. Also, of course, shout out the WNRN, the gracious host, the provider for our podcasts and stuff like that. Obviously,
and if you guys didn't know, I'm actually the real WNRN internet champion.
That's right.
Hold here. I forgot to bring the belt out, but I got it locked in a cage.
Right,
I'm the real champ.
You could be like me. My championship's stolen, and it's still stolen. It's still missing. So,
to the suits that are listening, never forget that I am the real internet champion.
There you go. We appreciate y'all watching and listening, and we will see y'all next time.